Ja, we hadden dat. Goedenavond. Dit is een bijzondere uitzending. Ik was juist al even in een gesprek met Hamish en ik ben serieus onder de indruk. Vanavond gaan we dus natuurlijk spreken over gin, dat sowieso al over kruiden, ook al iets anders, helemaal anders. Maar wees niet te zeer verrast als jullie een uil of zo zien voorbij vliegen. Blijkbaar vliegt er eentje los in het huis rond. Hij heeft me hem juist getoond. Ik ben nogmaals danig onder de indruk. Maar alvast voor zodanig dat jullie het weten, we gaan vanavond hebben over Secret Garden, Old Curiosity Distillery. En we spreken vanavond met de bezieler erachter, Hamish Martin. Hij is een familieman sowieso, zot van destillaat op zich. Hij heeft ook een serieuze achtergrond van de whisky, maar daar zullen we later sowieso nog op terugkomen. En als tweede gast vanavond heb ik ook nog Johan Ives. Eindelijk. Ik ben hem al maanden aan het vragen om erbij te komen. En ik zie dat hij juist is aangekomen in de back, dus ik zie hem al heel groot lachen. Dus vanavond gaan we sowieso 2 mensen erbij halen. Dus ik ga gewoon onmiddellijk beginnen. Ik zie dat ze allebei toch onwijs zijn. Please welcome Hamish. And please welcome Johan as well. Hi guys.
Hey. Hi Hamish. Dag Gunther.
Goedenavond. So I was just telling people, Hamish, I was quite impressed with your owl just before. So if he flies around, just to make sure people will see them, because it's quite impressive.
I can always lift my phone.
Yeah, you can do that again. Make sure you do that, because people need to see what's flying around in your house.
Okay, I can do that.
Here's my wife. Like I told you before, Hamish, she's a great fan, and I think in Belgium one of your biggest fans at the moment.
That's sure.
So, for the guys who don't know you, Hamish, who are you?
Well, that's a very good question. I'm going to spend the rest of my life trying to work that one out. I now have herb garden gin.
You're freezing up.
I used to think the whiskey trade. And then 10 years ago, actually longer than that now, 11 years ago, I sold my business purely because I wanted to spend the rest of my life with herbs, with plants specifically. And I left the drinks industry, and my wife and I created the Secret Herb Garden, which is a 7.5 acre plot of land just outside Edinburgh. It's been organic. It was an organic vegetable garden where they used to grow veg, and it was completely derelict when we came and took the garden over. And we spent the first 3 years renovating the garden and opening the Secret Herb Garden in 2014 as a herb nursery and as a cafe. Basically, for the first 3 years, we had to live in a static caravan with four kids, 5 dogs, and a cat. And eventually, we built a house. So I'm now sitting in my study in the house, and we're now 5 kids, 5 dogs, a cat, and don't forget the owl. But along this journey, obviously selling cakes and coffees and herbs, and 5 kids, we need to sell a lot of herbs. So as a herbalist, I had retrained and left. Obviously, when I left, I went to retrain as a herbologist at the Botanic Gardens in Edinburgh for 2 years. And I traveled and worked with, I suppose what really changed everything was I worked a lot with, I suppose you call him a medicine man in North America and a witch doctor in South Africa. And when you sit at the feet of somebody who's truly connected to nature, you learn to shut up and listen. So that changed the whole of my perspective on how to grow plants. And I just knew I wanted to spend the rest of my life with botanics and plants, not knowing anything about making a gin. But in that journey, I had been playing with the plants when we set the Secret Herb Garden up. and had a little 3-liter still, and I was making tinctures, and I made this rose gin from our roses that changed color and tasted of the roses. And I didn't. We just drank it at home for a laugh. And then my wife said, "You know that thing you can do with the gin? I think you might have to make a business of it because we need to boost the bank, basically, because we, to come up with other ideas of how to develop the garden." So I had no money, but we got 3 shareholders, and they came and invested in me. I think we've done okay. And we built an ATEX rated still room in one of the barns. We went live with the Old Curiosity Distillery, or the Secret Garden Gins, back in 2017. And I suppose in the last 3 years, we now employ 25 people. We've converted all the gardens to be gin botanical gardens. We hand harvest, we dry, we distill, we bottle. We do everything ourselves. We supply Ford Masons, Harrods, Harvey Nicks. We do an own label for Marks and Spencers. Obviously, export to Johan there, key market for us. So it's been a roller coaster. I set up the gin distillery with my eldest daughter, Francesca, who I think you both met when she came over. And it's been a roller coaster. It really has. And obviously, times have been harder, but we've just had to sort of come up, which we have done, to make sure that we keep everything going.
Yeah.
I don't know if that helps with your first question, but
yeah, no, it's a very good answer. Actually, you told everything we wanted to know. So goodbye. No, Johan. I know you're a big whiskey fan, but at one point you obviously met Hamish and knew about this product, and of course we don't have to forget Delphine with this part.
Yeah.
So the two of you get acquainted with Hamish and his gins. How quick did you decide I want to import this?
Basically,
You want the sound is gone.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, you're back.
Okay, I'm back. Okay. Well, I was together with Delphine in Scotland to visit, and we were asked to do the opening of Ardnahal Distillery in Islay. And when we were coming back, we were asked by Paul Dempsey to come over to a mini festival of his biggest or big client in Glasgow. And that was the company that before was to Hamish. So when we were invited, we were on the top of the VIP list. And when we came to the stand of Paul, he said, "Yeah, okay, here beside me, you have a very good gin. You have to try it out." So I said, "Okay, Paul, I will try it. I'm not searching for the gin." And we tried the gin. It was one of the employees of Hamish, and it was so superb. We said immediately, we want to come over. We want to visit the distillery. And so he said, "Yeah, I don't know. I have to ask. Call me back tomorrow." So basically, the next day I had Hamish on the phone, and I said, we are now in Glasgow. We can come over. But he said, "Yeah, okay, it's a little bit difficult now. Let's say if you come by Saturday, there's no problem." So we stayed 2 days longer. We went on Saturday to Hamish, and we had a lovely day at his secret garden, and we did a gin tasting, and at that moment we already decided to take it in, and so it was very quickly. We were so surprised by the quality and the flavors, and also everything around it. You know, the passion of Hamish, and also the involvement of his family, and that's what I'm searching in everything. What I'm doing is family based.
Yeah. And
bottlers
that's
and distillers.
It's all about family.
Yeah. So basically, from the moment we tried it out, we were already thinking, okay, how we can get this into the Benelux, and because we were from the beginning very enthusiastic about it.
Yeah.
And it's when you visit the secret garden, it's so overwhelming, all the love and the care that they do for the products. So basically we were falling immediately in love with the product.
Yeah. Hamish, how big is your garden?
Big. Hamish, it's yours.
Don't fall asleep. We're talking. Can you hear us? How big is your garden?
Hi guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear? Okay, there's something wrong.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
we can. Yeah. I think there's a delay with Scotland.
Yeah, better just send him a message so he can answer the question. Can you hear us now? It's the owl. I think it's the owl.
Yeah. He can use it as an antenna. Come on, Hamish.
Okay, I'm not sure what's going on. Oh, I see. Okay, I can try this. For some reason, he's muted and I can't unmute him. So, Hamish, you unmuted yourself.
Yeah.
So apparently he had muted himself. I'm sending him a message.
He's a wizard with everything that's on herbs and so on, but I think technology is not his best kind.
Yes, you're back. You're back.
There he is.
Definitely not.
So you can hear us again? We can hear you.
Is that better?
Yeah, we can hear you. You're fine. So, Hamish, the question was, how big is your garden? Yeah,
we can hear you now.
It's the most funny.
Okay, so
Okay, I don't know what's going on, but I will be talking with you.
I'm hoping you guys can hear me, because
yeah, that's a very, very bad connection.
I think he's.
You're in the show.
We can hear him.
Yeah, we can hear him. I think his cell phone is. There he is.
He's back.
Can you hear us?
Hamish, say something.
I take it you guys can't hear me.
Now we can.
Yeah, we can hear you. And the owl is flying around as well. So there it is. Johan, it's a good point because I've sent him a few private messages, but for some reason he doesn't see them.
Give me a thumbs up if you hear me. Ah, okay, brilliant. I can't hear you, but you can hear me. Fantastic. Yeah. We're nearly there.
Yeah.
Write the question, as somebody said.
Okay. How big is your garden?
How big is your garden? It's 7.5 acres of it's 7.5 acres of land. There you go. That's only a very, very small bit. So it's all cultivated, grow 4,000 different junipers, all our own botanics. We hand harvest everything. We use no chem. In fact, that's a great picture. Keep that up because you can see all the trees there. That's our wildlife corridors. So we farm very much with nature as our absolute guiding goal, really, in everything that we do. So those are wildlife corridors that we have. And we use no chemicals, not even, we don't even use any organic. I farm what I would call completely naturally. So I use a plant to heal a plant.
Okay. Can you hear us again?
I want to write another question.
These are old photos.
I don't know.
Yeah. Meanwhile, they have also a rose garden.
Okay.
That's not shown on these photos. So that's very, very new.
So Johan, you told me before, and I will ask. Oh, he's gone.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure he will be back. Yes, so we can go on. Johan, we'll keep on talking in English because I know
no problem.
Few of them watching us talking English. So you mentioned me before, and he's back again. No, he's not yet. I have no idea. Okay, there he is again. Can you hear us again?
I can hear you now.
Okay, you're back. Okay.
I can hear you.
The image is a bit straight. Okay, there he is. Okay, Hamish, the next question. Johan told me before, and we talked about it earlier on. You have a background, or your family has a background in the whiskey industry as well. What was it? What's the background?
Well, my father used to be production director of the old DCL, or it's called Diageo now. And so my father was in charge of all of the production for everything to do with then went Guinness and Diageo, but he also pushed through the definition of Scotch whisky through Parliament. And he got an OBE for his commitment to quality of Scotch whisky. He was passionate about Scotland whisky. And I have to say that passion is definitely in me too, but I don't drink malts. I know Johan will be very upset with this.
No. Then I have more.
Drink a really good blended whiskey. So I suppose whiskey has been part of my life since as long as I can remember. So I love whiskey. We're going to make our own blended whiskey. I used to make, my father and I, that's my owl, just come down to see me. So I'm going to get back to making a blended whiskey again, but my father, when he retired, we set up Inverarity together, and I made the whiskey, blended whiskey for the Wine Society, for Holyrood Palace, where Prince Charles did his own label, the Ritz, the Savoy. So I've spent my life previously blending whiskey and making blended whiskey for people. And I'm going to do it again for the Secret Garden gin. When I sold my business, I sold all my whiskey as well about 11 years ago when I had Inverarity. But I got on so well with the managing director of Inverarity Mortons that he's agreed to sell back all my old blended whiskey to me at the same price I sold it to him that many years ago. So I can't wait to get back to blending the whiskey. Hang on, Mal's just about to escape out the door. No. There you go. Sorry.
It's like a zoo over there. At the end of the
that's
show,
only in here. You should see the rest of the house.
It's an idea for our next show. Have a walk through the Secret Garden.
Oh yeah.
Yeah? Would you like to do it?
You know what? If we had done this in the summer, I've done that before. Yeah, I mean, that's what we've done before. So I would just give you a tour of the garden. Absolutely.
Okay, so we will have a next meeting in the summer.
Any
for
other
sure.
questions?
Yeah. There will be a question.
Definitely.
No. At this point, your standard range is about 5. You won't correct me if I'm wrong. 5 secret gins at this point, or 6.
They have more, but there's a difference between export and
but for the Belgian
Scotland.
market. Yeah. What's your most famous yourself, Hamish?
Well, I suppose the apothecary rose is what started the whole business.
Yeah.
We're the largest growers of the apothecary rose in the UK, and it's the oldest rose known to man. It's beautiful. So actually, I started making the apothecary rose gin. Actually, I'm holding a bottle of it in that picture. So it's a golden color, and when you add tonic, it turns pink. No colorings, everything's natural. It's the same as we have the ethos here. So I suppose the apothecary roses are #1 selling, and then we do a lavender gin. We do a lemon verbena, a pink elderflower and jasmine, and a wild as well. And we've just released our Christmas gin, which obviously is seasonal. There you go.
So
the rose and lavender are our biggest sellers.
So everything what's in it, you provide it yourself. The alcohol, the lavender, the rose, it's all from your own secret garden, or you bought it somewhere.
So we grow. Yeah. So we grow all the botanics. Yeah. So we grow all the botanics here in the garden, but we are having to supplement our. Though we've got a huge crop, we do have to supplement our juniper. So we do buy some juniper in from an English company. If you come here, you'll see all the botanics grow. You can even come and help me harvest them and dry them, etc. So we do grow all the botanics here, but we have had to supplement the juniper.
Okay, and I found a photo, but I'm not sure what you're doing here.
Next question.
Yeah, next question. Can you tell us what you're doing here?
I'm looking very young there. That's our drying room. So that tray is cornflowers, roses, calendula up above. So basically, we're the only working distillery that you can come and see. And we have a large drying room. It's about twice the size of that picture, where we hand harvest and dry the botanics. So we keep them at 37 degrees. The fires and the petals will stay in there for about 24 hours, and by the time they're finished, they're perfectly dried, and the colors are all there. I used to use it for making herbal teas, but obviously now we're doing all our botanics there for the gin.
Yeah,
and we have 2 full-time harvesters every day. To be honest with you, it's from about the beginning of April when we hand harvest the nettles, and we're still harvesting now. We're harvesting a lot of the Angelica root, Orris root at the moment. So a lot more roots at the latter part. And then literally we've probably got about another 2-3 weeks, and we'll turn the drying room off until April again next year.
Okay. Johan, when you were there, did you harvest yourself a bit?
I didn't. Delphine did.
Okay, yeah, of course you did.
Delphine
did.
Delphine was there for a whole week, I think. Afterwards, so a few weeks after that, we started working with Old Curiosity. She went back, and then she did a harvest, and she did also making a cocktail on the premises with what she harvest did on the same day. So that was something very special as well, also for Hamish. So she could show how she was working, and her qualities in knowledge of spice and herbs. But yeah, I'm just selecting and drinking. So I have a nice cocktail now. Okay. It's with made with the gin of Old Curiosity and fresh mangoes. So it's a recipe of Delphine as well.
Okay, she made it for you, or you made it yourself?
She made it for me.
Know the guy. Hamish, if you choose 11 years ago for I'm going to do something completely different because you had a business of yourself, you have it again, but was it an easy decision selling everything and let's start all over?
I only got a bit of the question, but I think the question was, what made me do the big change? I was in the whiskey and wine business, and I suppose the thing I loved most about the wine was the plant, but Scotland's not got a great climate for that. However, in saying that, I am growing Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, and Pinot Meunier in the glasshouse now, so I can make champagne. So watch out, France. But I went through a big change in my life. I realized that my real passion was plants, herbs specifically, and I thought at that stage I was 40 years old, 39. I thought if I don't change now, I'll never change. And so, basically, huge turnaround. It would have been very difficult for my kids as well, for the older ones. I threw myself into the plant kingdom to understand and I suppose really fall with nature.
Your background is plants, and you're quite, can I say, obsessed with it in the good way. Is that something you need to do to have making a good gin?
I would say if you want to make authentic gin, to have an understanding of botanicals is well, I don't know how, you're just going on dried botanics being delivered to you and choosing from a book. What really is important is actually knowing plants, how they grow, when to harvest them, how to propagate them. So I sell over 600 different types of herbs in the nursery. We have one of the top 30 plant nurseries in the UK. And I also grow over 200 different varieties that we can make gin with. So it's not like, sorry.
The owl is there.
So I suppose where I'm going with this, is I couldn't imagine doing anything else than spending my whole life with plants, with herbs, and communicating to people how amazing shit on the, we can just plant and work with nature. I always say to them, and modern agriculture, we take from Mother Earth all the time. Friendship's about giving and taking, is being loving with one another. And so when you see that picture of the garden, you'll see all the wildlife habitats that we actually encourage. So there's a giving back to a piece of ground, and also realizing that we need to harvest and work hard to collect the plants so we can all make a living from here, but also realize that we're only, how would I put it? I'm going to say insignificant, but that's how I really feel that we are compared to the plants and nature. And really, I use the gins as a way of expressing the true floral aspects of the plants. And I also make a wild gin from 9 wild indigenous plants that we grow here and raise beds and treat them as prize plants. Whereas most people would want to poison them, pull them up and get rid of them. Whereas for me, the real beauty indigenous wild plants that surround us here at Scotland and wherever you are, they're all around us, our indigenous wild plants, but it's just starting to have a relationship with them and understanding how amazing they really are.
Okay, so it's not all
that was my, I don't know if you saw that, but that was the owl flying over my head.
It went too quick, I think. I missed him this time. Johan, if I hear Hamish talking about his as enthusiastic as he is, I cannot compare him with you because you have something similar, and it's not about plants, but it's about spirits. Whenever I hear you talking about spirits, it's always with great passion. So, is that something you reach or search for when we're talking about with a new distillery to import in Belgium? For example, I know you're a big fan of Spy whiskey yourself, so and it's more or less the same. It's family based kinda.
Yeah.
So
basically everything has to have a story, and I like very natural things. So in family based or family owned distilleries, if it's our gin or whiskey, they are much more flexible, and they are much more careful with everything they use and how they produce and how they bottle and how it's presented. And that's what I'm searching in the difference between what I used to be involved with Diageo, that we had similar with his dad, and what I'm searching for now.
yeah.
So when I met Hamish, he's so passionate about everything, and he's a real wizard with everything with herbs. When we were walking to his garden, he was saying, and that's good for this and that's good for that. You don't need medicine, we have it all here. So he knows exactly what he's creating, and also with all the gins he's preparing. He has a fingering touch that I have often seen this. It's very, very unusual. So basically it was something that had to be come over to Belgium and the Benelux. So so I'm grateful that that we could work together, and that we are still involving in this business. So yeah.
Hamish, And actually, it's a question for Johan as well, but I'm starting off with Hamish. It's a great story, but I have a feeling it's not an easy story because you're doing a fair trade kind of way of working. So and mostly that's more expensive. The cost will be higher. So is it easy to have a living on this? It's frozen up again.
Gunde, I know you caught out on one or two bits there, but I think was the question, with all the work that goes into making the gin, is it easy to have a living?
Yeah.
Was that what you said? Thumbs up. Okay. Well, I'm going to be very honest with you, Gunde. I had a business before where I chased the buck, where I wanted to have a fast car and a big house and everything that goes with it. And I suppose that's where, 11 years ago, it was like, I'm wasting my energy. My energy needs to be in what my heart really feels. And so the gin, yes, we're all still here as a family. I'm employing 24 and some are more people. And I think that's more important. I don't have these lifelong goals further away from what I'd want to do. I know I've got an owl, I can't go anywhere. I'd rather be in the garden, and that's it. And this is what the secret garden's about. Come and see it. See what the plants are doing. So in reality, it's providing a livelihood for everybody, and I think that's more important. And in fact, funny enough, my operational director, when I had Inverarity, well, I took him on when he was about 22 as my first part-time driver, and then he worked all his way with Inverarity, and he's come on to join me. My warehouse manager used to be my same warehouse manager in Inverarity. Maggie, who was our PA with Inverarity, is again very much involved in this new business. So it was 12 years ago, and then they're all happy to come and work again and create another business with me. So it's a very, very difficult question to answer, but I'm not so, as long as we have enough to keep everybody going and we can have fun growing the business and I can communicate about the plants, happy days.
Yeah, so you don't regret at any moment your decision.
Well, no. I think
No.
I think it must. There's not one decision in my entire life that I regret. A lot of wrong decisions, but a lot of lessons too. I've never wanted to live a life with regret. I'm a great believer that I never wanted to turn around and say when I'm 80 to say, "Oh, I wish I had done that." I never ever want to do that. I would hope that I and install with the kids and everybody an essence of, if it feels right, it's right, and if it shows you it's not right, it was still right. Because everything's a lesson. So no, definitely regret would be a word I hope I would not use now, and I hope until my last breath I would never use the word regret in anything I do. No, I hope not.
You're very down to earth.
Yes.
It really is. It's great to hear you talk. So wow. Actually, it's more like the same question for you, because of course I know all the stuff you import in Belgium, and they're all great marks of our businesses,
Brands.
like to say, but they are not known by the big audience.
No.
And again, that's the decision you made for yourself, and I know it is, but why? Because it would be much easier when you say, I'm selling Dalwini or something like that. It's a big name and it's easy to sell. So
I did it.
yeah, you did it. Yeah.
But it's becoming a way of life, searching good products and have a variation of the different flavors, and that you can only have when you're working with independent bottlers. And then again, independent bottlers, they have a very high rotation of products. So it means you don't have much products of each variety they are bringing to the market. So you need stability, and for that you use distilleries. But you can't start with a big distillery if you didn't grow up with it. Mm-hmm. So Speyside Distillery was the first distillery which I started working together with Jan and Marcel from Win in Holland. We were the first out of the UK into Europe that started with Spey, and all the distilleries that followed, they all started around 2014, 2015. So then again, Hamish also started with export in 2017. I started with working for them in 2018. So everything I was already or almost in the beginning when I started it. So it will be much easier in a few years, because the coming years, thanks, Paul. The coming years, there will be a lot of new distilleries that will come to the front, like we are doing now with Artnamurchan and with Lindoris Abbey and Gleidside Distillery and Artnahau and Rasse. So there are a lot of new distilleries which we were already involved since 2014, 2015. They are now becoming with a distillery with a real whiskey of their own distillery. And so then again, the work won't stop. It will only increase. And it's because you love it and you want to share it that you continue. And it takes a lot of work, that. I'm always on the road, I'm always working, but I like this way. I like to find always the special ones and bring them to the public. So Old Curiosity as well, I was so impressed, and so we created a new line, a new business with together with Delphine, especially to promote this kind of products that are 100% natural. So with Old Curiosity, it was it's becoming one of the flagships of Macajou Selection, which is directed by Delphine. So I will support her in as an importer, that she can also have a portfolio with special and products and special distilleries, like working together with Hamish.
Hamish, can you describe your way of living? And it has nothing to do with the rose garden or the garden yourself. How is a day in your life like?
Very busy.
Can imagine that. Walking the owl.
Well, every day walking the owl. So varied. I very much live by the seasons. So from the 1st of March to end of September, I get up at 5 in the morning and I go up to the Pentland Hills and I swim in a loch every morning. That's my morning routine. And then come back down, and whether I need to take children to school or whatever, I get back to the garden. I'm not brilliant with IT. I think you can probably tell. But I always find that if there's, I'll do my paperwork in the winter. If you want to get in touch with me in the summer months, you've got no chance unless you come to the garden. So it's a very varied day. I'd like to think, I mean, to give you an idea, I'd like to think that in the winter I sleep more. I definitely drink more. So, you know, it's, and to give you an idea of a day, I fast on new moons. I don't eat anything for 36 hours once a month. To be honest with you, I can't think of anything that would be. I tell you what I do have. I have a coffee and chocolate about 10 o'clock every day. That's my one standard. And apart from Mondays, which is today, lucky for you, I normally have my first alcoholic drink about 5 o'clock. But I'm on water tonight for you.
Okay, and if you drink alcohol, is it a gin or is it whiskey or something else? You didn't.
Well, my wife drinks the gin, and I have a blended whiskey. I have 2 or 3 blended whiskeys. While but at the moment she's drinking the Christmas gin. I have a whiskey every night.
This one.
I know I shouldn't say that. Yes, that's the one that she's had tonight.
What's okay? It's a Christmas gin, but what's so different or what's so special about it?
The color.
What's the color?
Yeah, so the color comes from 2 flower petals. So that color red comes from violets, and another one called hollyhocks, black hollyhocks and purple violets, and it gives you the most natural, beautiful red color. And then when you add milk, it turns the milk pink, and it's absolutely remarkable. But what we do with this, and we do not grow these, but we get the cinnamon, ginger, and cardamom, and we make distilled waters with them, and they are distilled separately, and then added to the gin. The gin does, but not only that, it's got this beautiful red color that turns pink when you add tonic. No sugars, no colorings, no flavorings, just plant material, and it's really about the magic. It's a little bit of alchemy.
Yeah. Hamish, if you would have lived in the let's say 17th century, I think you would be on fire at this point, like a sorcerer.
He is a sorcerer.
Yeah.
I would have definitely been burnt at the post. No doubt about it.
And I can imagine for some reason you would be proud of it.
They'd
So
have
like,
to catch me first, because
Phoenix.
yeah, they'd have to catch me first because I'd be living so deep in the woods. They'd have no idea where I was.
yeah. I don't know if you know, and I don't know if it's called the same in English, but in the early 80s there was a series on television, and it's called Catweasel. But I have no idea if it's called the same in English. Johan, I don't know if you know it. It was it was a series about a guy, and he lived in the woods, and he was long bearded and long haired, and it was, and for some reason, he a tiny bit, he reminds me of you.
Not from the long hair. And
Well,
beard.
my hair,
That's the weird thing.
my hair used to be very long, but in the autumn, so I don't cut my hair. I don't cut my hair. This is going to be too much information for you guys. But I don't wash my hair at all, ever, apart from Christmas Day.
You just have to invite them in the summer.
And my hair was so long, I cut ears on my head as she uses on shearing the dogs.
I have to say, it's the most strange episode ever.
You can probably tell.
There is still something very special. When we first met, you remember then when I said, yeah, okay, I'm a keeper of the quay. And then you told me, yeah, okay, my dad was one of the founders. You remember?
He was the founder. Yeah, he was the founder with Lord Macleay. Gosh, I can't remember who the other two were. Lord McFarland and so the keepers of the quay was set really to help and promote Scotch whisky worldwide, and it's amazing what it's actually done for whisky. Truly remarkable. And Dad was also a visiting professor for distilling at Heriot Watt. So there's Heriot Watt University is the only distillery in the UK where you can do your distilling and brewing degree. And my father set that up as well.
Okay.
That says something.
Yeah, and that's a funny thing, because for some reason I have the idea about your father. He was a businessman. He loved his job, but he was a businessman. And you're not really a businessman. He got it takes a while when he.
I would agree with that completely.
I think Scotland is far away this time.
He's in the bush. Don't forget that.
There's quite a time. There's quite a time delay on hearing your question.
For once, it works with mine.
It's in your face. Ewan was telling me before the show, and he was like, I don't know if I'm heading if I can join you because I'm in the middle of nowhere. But after seeing this, you're not in the middle of nowhere.
He's even worse.
And the funny thing is,
he reacts.
Yeah. It's
doesn't hear.
I have no idea what you two are laughing at. It's worrying me.
No, we were saying a long time ago. He asked me to join, and I said, "Yeah, it's not possible. I don't have much. How you call it?
Internet. Yeah.
Internet reaction over here. I'm near the Luxembourg border, and eventually today it worked, and now it's Scotland that has a delay. So that's why we were laughing. For one time, it really goes with my connection. It doesn't go with yours.
And it's freezing up again. So no problem. It's a wonderful show. I think it's our
Harry Potter.
We're at the end of the show, and I have to say thank you very much for joining me, the both of you, because I was really looking forward to this show, and even more, I'm looking forward to our samples we will get within a few weeks.
No, in a few days.
in a few days. So my wife will be very happy, and she will
I think
be
tomorrow. I think you will have them tomorrow.
okay. If okay, she will be very happy hearing this. So Hamish, I'm very curious what you sampled for us. So and yeah, I'm pretty sure it will be great. So, and you will let us know whenever it arrives. For the viewers, next week we have one of our last guests. There are 3 shows left to come, and it's Alexander. Alexander would be here a few weeks ago, but there was something wrong in the family, so I wasn't able to broadcast at that point. But we will be broadcasting next week, and we will be talking about Rugby Park. It's about Wim, so I'm very excited about that one as well. Hamish, again, thank you very much for joining us. Is there anything you want to share with the audience? Just so whatever you want. It's about the owl. Is it about the gins or whatever you want to say? It's all up to you now. And he didn't hear a thing about it.
I did hear you, so I've got literally to say thank you very much. I need to say thank you to Johan for importing our gin. Yes, and I think that you might be right. I'm not the best of business, but one day I can, your wife and you can come and visit, and then you'll understand why.
Sure.
Yeah, because it really is all about the plants, very much. And I can give you. She's gone back to sleep again, but I'll give you a quick. I don't know if you can see her now. There you go.
She's back.
I don't know. Was that her?
Great. Is there anything you want to share with the audience, or Hamish?
Wait, has he finished?
I think he finished.
Okay. So Gunther, thank you very much for having us in your broadcast.
Sorry for the Scottish.
He's back.
I think the owl is doing the antenna.
I think it's up to you now, Johan.
Okay, but thank you for having us. And tomorrow, I think tomorrow you will have your samples, and it's great to share some products that I import with somebody that has the same feeling and the same spirit for joining and sharing those special things. So I hope we can work for a long time together in the future, and that we can have some very special spirits to share and to enjoy in the near future. So, and for everybody, stay safe. Drink a lot of spirits, not only whiskey but also gin, and it will help you to stay alive.
I'm sure of that. So, guys, thank you very much for joining us. And Hamish, I will be coming over when this whole thing blows away. I will be seeing you very soon, I presume.
Yep.
And to the viewers, have a nice evening. Good night. Stay safe, and see you next week. Bye.
Bye.